Hello everyone, welcome back to our fourth custom mail-in drag race tournament. This is day number 3, so let's see who competes in the first round. Johnny Ocean, Mr. Dark, Hefe, and Issa Khan. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly, and it is Issa Khan who finishes in first with a time of 3.09. So far our fastest time is still Killa Kowalski, who finished with a 3.04. And Killa is one far who have not lost a single race. So far, everyone who has won a race has not lost one. And so far, Issa Khan is going to be the one competing to keep that streak going. And it looks like they will do it as they finish in second, or rather finish in first for the second time. My apologies. They definitely were cutting it close as they were going down the ramp, but once they hit that flat edge heading towards the finish line, they got the lead they needed to sit a little more comfortably. Now for Heat 3, can Issa Khan keep it going? Mr. Dark has been making them a little nervous when the race first begins, but Issa Khan keeps getting that lead along with the win. They're finishing around the same time every time. And they are going to be the one to progress since they have more points than anybody else and no one can possibly catch up to them now, even if Issa were to get 0 points. But they are going to get that 4th win, so they are going to keep the streak going. And Issa Khan's moving on with a solid 3.1 finish. Although in drag races, even the smaller margins will seem huge due to how close these races can be. Now for the second round, we have Matt McNear, End Count, Lero, and Sneaky Bob. Sneaky Bob has had a reputation of popping up out of nowhere and taking the lead when no one expects it, so I guess they are living up to their name. And it is Sneaky Bob getting the win. And they have a time of I think that was 06? Let's take a look again. It's 05 actually. So they were just short of taking over Killa Kowalski's. And do it. But it is going to be Sneaky Bob. Let's take a look. 3.06 this time. They are just on the cutting edge of at least tying with Killa Kowalski, if nothing else. So even if they're not sneaking their way to victory, because they have clearly been in first each time so far, but maybe they can sneak their way up to the fastest time in the tournament so far. But this time was actually a little slower. That pressure may be getting to them a little bit, but End Count definitely gave them a run for their money as they finished just 1/100th of a second slower than they did. But Sneaky Bob is going to move on automatically. Now they're just trying to keep that undefeated streak going, and they will. And they finish with a time of what? It is a 3.08 again. So they were awfully close to matching Killa Kowalski, but so far Kowalski keeps that speed record. Well, we have another undefeated racer. And now for the third round, where we have Banjo, Uncle Elvis, Ben Dover, and Big Daddy Craig. And here comes Banjo with the lead, and they get the first win of this group. And I'm always curious as to what time they have. It is a 3.15, so this is a little bit slower than Killa Kowalski or some of the racers we just had. But they put themselves in the position to keep the undefeated streak alive. And it looks like they're going to do that again because the other 3 are staying side by side. But Banjo was able to pull in front of them and get win number 2. Yeah, if you want to see a lot of undefeated racers, then come to these drag races for sure, which will make it very interesting when those undefeated racers come together and face each other. Here comes Banjo again. Can they do it again? Uncle Elvis was right next to them for a moment, but Banjo pulled away to get a third consecutive victory, finishing with a 3.14. And it's actually Ben Dover who's been finishing in a different position every time. And can Banjo get that fourth win? It looks like they will. So that is another name to add to the list, finishing slightly quicker now with a 3.12. You can see some of those other racers back there watching and seeing what their competition is going to look like as they move forward. But now for the fourth and I believe final round for today, but I could be wrong. And we have Rocket, Velocity, Bear Chomp, and Uncle Fokker. And look at this, Uncle Fokker takes off, leaving everyone in the dust. And they finish with a 3.08. That time is a little bit familiar as of today's races. While Bear Chomp is the one getting chomped. And Rocket is trying to make something happen, but so far, despite their name being Rocket, it is Uncle Fokker who is taking off. So Uncle Fokker now has 2 wins to their name. They're just looking for those other 2 in the upcoming races. So now they've switched lanes. Let's see if that makes it different. It doesn't always. But there goes Uncle Fokker again. Bear Chomp falling behind very quickly, somehow not able to maintain their speed. And Uncle Fokker gets another win. They haven't been able to match that 3.08 time they put in the first race. But now they just need one more. And the idea of anyone who's won a race not losing one yet will keep going. And it looks like that will happen. Uncle Fokker finishes all 4 times in first place, not quite getting the fastest time, but moving on gives you more opportunities to do so in the future. Doing slightly better that time, so Uncle Fokker will be the next to move on. And this is your lineup so far. Thank you all so much for watching. See you for the next video.